Jessica here with another scrapbooking recap, I guess I could call it, or album flip through for the month of September of 2024. So these are all the layouts that I got done for the month of September. Not sure how many's here. I know I have a few extra projects that are not here because they are for other events or other avenues that I cannot reveal yet. So those will be for the future. But and I also have a few things. It's from my mini albums, my 52 favorites album, my Rolodex album, and my camping scrapbook travel notebook thing. So I've got quite a few other things that I worked on in September that are not here, but there's quite a good pile here. So let's get started with this one. This one was for Shimmer's Paints design team. I've got 3 photos here from one of our beach outings at a local beach. I've got some flair here by Scrap and Happy Studios, and I've got an acrylic piece by Colorcast Designs, which I love, and all that shimmery paint goodness in there with the lovely mixed media. I do have a video up for that one if you want to check that out. I think most of these have videos, I imagine. This one was for a cherry on top. I have used my favorite border die here by Spellbinders with my Big Shot machine, and this is the Rust and Revs collection. There's a lot of dimension in this layout. I popped a lot of things up, like that photos all popped up, and I popped this big title up, stuck his little cupcake picture in there as well, and I've got all these little gear bits, which I just absolutely love. It's perfect for a boy themed layout, and I've used it for a birthday layout today on this one. This was a sketch, I believe, by Bramble Fox that I used. So lovely, and thank you for the sketch idea, Bramble Fox. Next one is this one for Pear Tree Cut Files. I've used a big title cut file that says Wander, Travel, Explore. And this is some 49 and Market goodies, along with some flair by Pear Tree Cut Files here. And I left this open on this little tag to say the date and the destination because this is actually my sister and her 2 kids. So this is going to go into their album, and then she can write on there where this was and the date. I think it was June, I think of 2022, but I'm not sure exactly where this is. I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure, and I forgot to ask her. So I'll just leave that for her to write on. This one is using a lot of 49 and Market supplies, as well as the All in Create Leaf stamp set, which I just love. This one has a rub-on title down here. That's by the Art Options Spice Collection by 49 and Market. I made some nice tassels, and then this layout itself was for Shimmer's design team, featuring all of this mixed media goodness on all of these leaves. What I did was I added a bunch of sprays and mixed media to a background paper that looked like this newspaper from a Vicky Bouton paper, and I also used some chipboard ones, and then I stamped and cut them out for those ones, and then these chipboard ones were already cut out, but I just did the mixed media on those, and then I also wrapped some twine around those. So really, really pretty. I've got some Scrap and Happy Studio flair on this one as well. It's got a lot of dimension too, so it's probably going to flatten out a little bit in my book, but I don't so much mind it because it really doesn't hurt it that much in my book, to be honest. So this one's a photo from my last pregnancy. This one is the baby girl that I was pregnant with in that photo, and she is going to be 2 soon. I can hardly even believe it. This layout was for ThermoWeb. You can see the leaves are all foiled and shiny and pretty, and I think I used some bits from a Hip Kit Club kit. I've got a title piece here. I think that was from Simple Stories. I'm not exactly sure. The letters I think were Hip Kit. All these little bits are Hip Kit, the little flowers, some flair by Scrap and Happy Studio, and then of course the foil by ThermoWeb with some Lawn Fawn leaf dies. This one here was for a cherry on top, and I used some fringe scallop border strips, which I love. This is a die for a manual die cutting machine. Of course, I've added sequins to all of these layouts pretty much. I love sequins and love the effect that it gives on my layouts. This is a nice boy page. As you can see, boys and their toys. My son with his favorite Oliver Clee tractor. His name is Oliver Cleveland, so he's kind of like named sort of close to that. And of course, some rub-ons here, Hello Handsome and Mischief down here. I love all the little bits. This is that Rust and Revs collection again, and I just love all these cute little bits that are in that collection. I almost didn't order that collection, and I'm really glad that I did. This one's another one for Pear Tree Cut Files. It says Life is a Wild Ride. I've done some grungy stamping on the background. I think most of this came from a Not Just for Boys kit, and then some flair from Pear Tree Cut Files on this one, and then little embellishments from the Not Just for Boys kit too, and some washi tape at the top. And I think these film strip dies they're from my stash, but I can't remember offhand who made those, if it was Bramble Fox or a different company. I can't remember offhand. This one was for cherry challenges. A few of my scrappy friends and I every month do cherry challenge on the 15th of every month usually, and we pick a challenge from the Cherry on Top message boards, or we create our own challenge and we all do that same challenge. Sometimes we pick different challenges. It just kind of depends what our mood is overall. But for this particular one, we used the Scraptember sketch from the Scraptember Facebook group, and we went with that sketch but put our own twist on it, which was a monochromatic feel. So I have chosen green for mine and thrown in some white and black as well. My background paper is black. I think this was a 49 and Market background paper, and then I used a Pear Tree cut file. I think it's called Build a Rainforest, and it has all these beautiful leaves in there. So I used both parts of the leaves, the outline and the inside. So I backed some of them, I left some of them as they were. These are the inside pieces that I kept, and yeah, I just really love it. I love the layered look, and I used it for pictures of my kids and my husband at the Pittsburgh Zoo. It's one of our favorite places. This one here was 2 separate days. There's 2 different videos on this. So it's a double pager for this year. I don't often do double pages, so I'm kind of excited to show this to you guys because you never see double pages on my channel. I'm not a big double page person. I don't do a lot of them, but I kind of made an exception for this one because I had this idea that I wanted to do this large distressed circle on here with different pattern papers. So I chose some of those. I think this was Bella Boulevard. Don't get me 100% on that. I can't remember offhand. I'm struggling to remember things today. It's been a crazy week, crazy month actually. But I've used a Pear Tree cut file here on this side for my son, who headed into pre-K this year, as you can see with the Ellie's Studio stamp set. I love the alphabet stamps by Ellie's. And my other son here headed into 1st grade this year. So I thought those would be really nice to do as a double page layout. And then on this side here, I used an acrylic title piece by Not Just for Boys. It's been in my stash for quite a while. I've been holding on to it, so I was really happy to be able to use that. And then last but not least, this one was for Spiegel Mom's Scraps using one of their sequin mixes. And as you can see, I created a large shaker out of a Pear Tree cut file geotag here. This was actually from COVID time, so I did some journaling to explain what was going on. We went for a lot of walks during that time because we weren't going out, we weren't seeing family, we were keeping very well isolated during that point. So this is part of our lockdown adventures. I've been putting this off, scrapping that time, because it's just kind of depressing, and I need to get caught up on those pages and just get them in my book, because I know someday down the line my kids are going to want to know about what happened during that time frame, what we did, what was going on. So I have some screenshots from around the world and different things, the numbers at that time, that I need to scrap, but I just need to sit down and actually do it. So for this one, I pulled out quite a few pieces from a Hip Kit Club kit. I did some stamping up there, added some frilly twine from my stash. That was from Close to My Heart. That's discontinued now. And a nice little bubbly stamp that I colored in using some, I think, Distress inks. I think I colored it in with Distress inks, but I can't even remember at this point. It might have been just my Copic markers, but that's how that one turned out. So that's all my projects for the month of September. It's already almost the end of October, so I'm sure I'll have another recap video coming up soon for you for the month of October as I head into November. So if you guys like this content, if you like me putting these videos on here of these just page flip throughs of what I got done in the month, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed so that I know to keep putting this content out there for you guys. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.